So here's, one level of the symbolism of the red heifer that spoke to my heart. The Midrash asks why the red heifer is a female if all the other sacrificed animals are male. So the symbolic answer that the Midrash gives is it's more of an allegory. And so this allegory teaches that the red heifer comes to atone for the sin of the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf, that the Israelites shamefully created and built in the absence of Moshe, who they feared disappeared and abandoned them on the top of the mountain. We all remember what happened. And so here's the allegory that the Midrash gives. It's about a young child of one of the king's maidservants who went into the palace and dirtied the palace of the king. And so the king was angry and commands, let the mother of this young child come and clean up her son's mess. Right? So in the same way, the King of Kings, Hashem, he says, the young child, the golden calf, came and dirtied my palace. Let the mother, the red heifer, come and clean up the mess. In other words, let the red heifer come and atone for the sin of the golden calf. Jeremy, did you hear that before? It's a beautiful teaching. But Rav Biederman nonetheless points out the seemingly obvious contradiction here, right? If indeed the commandment of the red heifer is the paradigm example of a chok, which has no reason given that we can understand, then aren't we attributing some sort of reason to it by saying that its purpose is to atone for the golden calf? All right, so open your hearts here.
Well, can I just say a word about that, Ari?
Yes.
I think that a way to understand the chok was actually taught to me by Emunah, my 9-year-old, over Shabbat this Friday night. And she said to me that a chok, we might be able to understand some things by piercing into it and thinking about it. But the real meaning of a chok is that we would never do that action had we not been commanded. No one would think, let's take a red cow, take its ashes, put it in this kind of water, do this and do that. So the essence of a chok is that, like, we have no idea why God is commanding us to do X, but we just do it because that's what God told us to do. But while we do it, we might be able to extract some meaning, some ideas, but we would never have been able to come to it on our own had we not been commanded.
Right, exactly. That's beautiful. That doesn't shock me that Emunah has that sort of insight. But no, but the fact is that it's, in a lot of ways, it really should remain a chok. We're not supposed to try to understand or attribute meaning to it. So then why this Midrash says that the purpose of the red heifer is to atone for the sin of the golden calf? It's a nice idea in your head, right? If they're both cows, one is the mother and one is the baby and some male, and so there's like that connection, and that's a beautiful thing. But aren't we giving meaning to it? So that's the question. So open your hearts here. The holy Rav Yitzchak Vorker, he explains it like this. He explains, yes, the para aduma, the red heifer, is indeed such a decree. We do not know the real reason for it. And therefore we keep it solely because we have emunah. Not Jeremy's daughter, but emunah, meaning faith. We keep it because we have faith. We keep it because we believe in Hashem. And that is why it atones for the idolatry of the golden calf. Because idolatry is definitionally a lack of belief in Hashem. And so the emunah, the faith with which we observe the decree of the red heifer, is the fixing of the lack of faith that we had in our hearts, which led us to worshiping the golden calf. Did you follow that, Jeremy? Did you guys get that? It's a beautiful idea. So it's not about understanding the reason. It's about fixing the blemish of needing to understand the reason to begin with. It's about fixing the lack of faith we had throughout the whole golden calf episode by having exactly the faith that we should have had there and applying it to the commandment of the red heifer.